Hi Lynn, how are you?
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. So you came to speak today with a little problem more about a situation that happened this morning with a friend that you were just trying to say hello to or just good morning, and she just completely ignored you. So what I kind of want to do is go through a little back and forth dialogue. It's known as Socratic Questioning. It's just more going more in depth or questioning why you're having those assumptions, which were what you told me that I'm not a good friend or she's mad at me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, kind of just get a little clarification. What was going through your mind when you had those automatic thoughts?
Came out this morning. She was leaving for work. I said, have a good day, whatever, and she just walked away. So I thought maybe she was mad at me. Did I do something wrong? I wasn't really sure as to why I got that type of reaction from her.
Okay. So, kind of more we can look at do you have like any beliefs or attitudes based on from the thoughts that you were thinking of?
Well, I say hello to everybody in the morning when I'm leaving for work. If there's my neighbors are out there, it's the right thing to do. And when somebody doesn't respond, then I'm thinking, okay, did I say something? Did I do something? Right away, I'm thinking it's me. Without actually knowing the reason why.
Right. So it's more that anytime when somebody just doesn't say hi back to you or doesn't acknowledge you, even if it's first, they say first, you just automatically think that something's up and
Right.
I did something.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So maybe we can more talk about any other past experiences that have led you to still continue to have these assumptions and negative thoughts.
If with her in general, or
It could be with her in general, it could be anybody else.
Anybody. Again, it's just I'm trying to think of other instances. It could be somebody in work that if I get an attitude from them, again, I'm always assuming that it's something that I did without even thinking about it. May be something else interfering with their day that could have been, why I'm getting that response from them.
Mm-hmm. So, just from even past experience, and you just made a good point. You don't know how their day was, but yet still it reflects back on the way you thought, just because from other times that it has happened to you, and you just have that belief that don't say hi, man, or
right.
something towards you, whereas there could be other reasons behind it, and that could maybe rethink about what your own thought was. Because let's say even if the role was reversed, if your neighbor today said hi to you and
I didn't say hello back,
but there are probably going to be other reasons as to why you didn't say hello back, other than being mad.
Right.
So maybe, can you think of probably reasons, maybe, how come if it was happening to your neighbor and you just didn't say hi, do you think you have any reasons maybe as to why you didn't say hello?
It could be something that affected my mood as well, where, sometimes you take it out on others, not realizing that you don't mean to be mean, but if I had something else going on, maybe I just didn't acknowledge them, which shouldn't have been personal.
Right.
Yeah, I understand. Like, maybe she had something else going on.
Right. So, as you just said, that basically, like, you have your reasons sometimes maybe why, you might not be paying attention, or you're just mood, but you won't, the thing is that you didn't know how much it affects the other person.
Right.
When that moment. So, whereas now back to the neighbor, Do you think maybe there could have been other?
Oh, sure. I mean, we all have those days, I guess, and shouldn't take it to heart as much, because that affects my whole day.
Mm-hmm.
When maybe she did have something going on.
Right. So, kind of what we did the last time when we had another video session, we did more of the kind of like positive, adaptive, and realistic thinking. What you just supposed to talk about was realistic thinking. There could be other reasons as to why
She was responding.
yeah. And do you have any other, like maybe some positive thoughts about?
Well, positive for my sense is that, maybe there was something going on. I feel like I'm repeating myself when I say this, but, I know I'm a good person.
Mm-hmm.
I know there wasn't anything that I was doing, I didn't say anything, or again, I got to stop thinking it's all me, instead of me thinking that maybe it's something that she has going on instead of me.
Right. And so it's a good way to think about it is that you know who you are and what you expect to be as a human to others.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think that's good. Do you have any kind of like adaptive thinking, meaning like maybe like worst case scenario, but also at the same time I know I can help myself rethink my thinking by there's like X, Y, and Z. Like, do you have any suggestions as to what you can do to help yourself think more the opposite of negative?
Well, again, I shouldn't take it personally. I have to know that one, I'm a good person, and I say hello to people, and because that's the proper thing to do. And I just feel like I'm repeating again.
And you know that you might have others who will that do say hello, that makes you in a better mood in a way that
Right.
people out there that may recognize you.
Right.
That do recognize you, nobody. So that's just some kind of ways to think about it, that just because she may have been in a bad mood doesn't mean everybody else is not going to be in a bad mood that you encounter with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, now that going through it, what do you think the possible consequence of continuing to have that negative thought of I'm a bad friend or I did something wrong? What do you think there could be, what the consequence or worst case scenario?
Well, the consequence is that it affects my entire day. It's whether or not how my day is going to, if I start out like that, worrying about whether or not she's mad, is going to affect how I treat other people all day long. Because, I don't think people realize how when you wake up in the morning and somebody acts like that to you, what it could do to you for the rest of your day. And how it really can change how you're going to act towards others, because I'm already going to start off in a bad mood, thinking that why, is she acting like that towards me? And it affects my work, it affects my home relationships, and it can't. You need to not be so sensitive about it.
Right. I'm glad that you thought of this, like what worst case things. Whereas now, what are your new thoughts about the situation that happened this morning?
Well, again, I just think that there could have been another reason, because I know I didn't, do anything or say anything, or maybe she had something else on her mind, and I know to take a step back and maybe find out what it is. If maybe I could help her with whatever she has going on, and instead of just thinking automatically that it's me.
Right. So, even that you said that you can approach her, or you know that maybe there's something going on with her. So what are the consequences of even you asking her what's going on, or just even knowing that maybe, like I said, she probably wasn't feeling well, or she didn't see you, or she just those kind of things.
Right.
So
Right.
kind of.
Well, we'd actually make a better day for both of us, maybe, because I'm going to feel better knowing that it isn't me, and maybe whatever it is going on with her, like you said, maybe if she isn't feeling well, or she has something else in her mind, maybe I can help her talk about whatever it is to make her feel better and me feel better.
But I'm glad that you recognized, you know, just the difference of one thought being a negative, and now it could ruin your whole day. Whereas now these new thoughts kind of makes you a little feel
Better.
like the weight off.
Right. Right.
Okay, that's really good. So just to summarize, basically, you're having these negative thoughts about your friend or neighbor, and just the way how she acted towards you made these thoughts that I was not a good friend, or I did something wrong. But as we went through a little bit deeper into questioning, we figured out, you know, you are a good friend. And in the past, it has happened to you in the way that it can ruin your day, or it can affect others. And you recognize that now there could be other situations. So I'm hoping that now your thoughts, or your automatic thought is now, I have a good friend, and
Positive.
more positive, and that your friend was going through other things. And it's now it's not going to be really affecting the rest of your day.
Right.
Or continuing on for the rest of the week or the future.
Right.
Okay, so I just kind of wanted to get a little feedback about how you thought about, what would you think about this whole dialogue?
Well, I think it made me realize that it's not, you know, how to make a bad situation good. Not that it's bad, but better. I don't feel as concerned about it, knowing that there could be other issues, underlying issues, instead of it always being about me.
And we can just say, we know what the issue was, and that she just wasn't feeling well.
Right.
So, and she did message you.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
So she did message you. And
yes, I feel better.
To say, hope you feel okay and have a great time and all that.
Exactly.
Okay, so nope, this is my last video.
Yeah.
But at any time, we can always talk about, you know, more in detail, looking at the negative thoughts and putting it into more challenging. Whereas, because in the future, you know, and I know, as a human myself, we have these thoughts automatically that we cannot change right away.
Right.
Unless,
exactly.
After you have that thought, you stop and think.
Exactly. Yep.
And recognize, all right, let's see what I can do to
change it.
Not even just even changing it, but also even just bringing it from like 100, like the word being 100, like down to even 40. So it's just more of like helping yourself not to come to realize, but just helping yourself calm down more and not making negative behaviors. Okay. Well, I want to thank you for helping me do my last video.
You're welcome. And again, you don't have a voice.
Yeah, and again, I don't have a voice. It's better than last time. So,
I'm better.
Thanks. It was great talking to you.
Yes, great talking to you as well. Thank you.